So one of the cars that I meant to talk about earlier was the 50s cars. I'm old enough to remember when a lot of cars came out, and because I am, sometimes I don't necessarily think of them as old cars. And I'll give you a good example. We had 47 Chevy, black, ugly, six-cylinder, stove bolt, six-cylinder straight shift. Not much of a car to be excited about riding around in. And my dad, he worked at the factory in Atlanta, but he also worked for a local mechanic. And he would go out to the auction and he would buy old state patrol cars. He'd buy like a 57 Ford, bring it home, put white sidewall tires on it and hubcaps, shiny hubcaps, put nice seat covers on it, give it a paint job, turn around and resell it. That's how we got money for Christmas. Well, that was the juxtaposition between the fat-fendered cars and the 50s cars. I mean, I shouldn't say that because 50s started before then, but you know what I mean. The 55 Chevys, 56, 57 Chevys, the 55 Fords, 56, 57 Fords, those are all just ridiculous, beautiful cars, on up to the 58s and stuff. I've owned many of those cars. I had a 57 Ford with a 396 with a 4-speed in it that I tore the rear end. I really made a mess out of a stock Chevy rear end in that car, but man, that was such an amazing car. But I love those cars too, and to me, that's a different classification of cars. You got the hot rods, and then you got the 50s cars, and then you got the street rods, which the street rods were probably a lot of 50s cars back then, and I'm saying back then because when National Street Rod Association came out, that's what we had for, old cars. It wasn't antique old, but they were old, like a 55 Ford or something like that. I love those cars too. I guess if I had to pick a favorite car, 57 Chevy would have to be in there, 56 Ford T-Bird, and of course for driving ability, nothing beats the Camaro in my book. And nowadays kids are driving around in 1,000 horsepower cars that are so powerful they can't keep them from rolling over on the curb and crashing here and there and everywhere, but that's getting into something different. Okay, so we were here, now we're going there. I'll stop talking about old cars and about old man stuff and get busy working on this thing some more. And I'll talk to you more later. Love y'all, appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out with me.
Bye.